Hi, and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this reading, I'm going to be doing some quick little love notes from your person. This is going to be a message cards only reading, and there are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Amethyst. Group 2 is the blue Kyanite. And group 3 is the Fluorite. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you'd like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Amethyst. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks, and let's see, what does your person want you to know right now from their higher self? Okay, so to start off, they say, I love you. So they are holding you in very high regard at this point in time. This is kind of a dreamy energy here. It feels that this is almost kind of a settled period that they are in. If they've been sort of going back and forth about their feelings, about the connection, what to do, maybe fighting a lot of these feelings for a period of time, it feels that they have entered this state of peace, this state of calm. They have surrendered in part or in totality to the nature of this love that they have for you. And they also say, I know more than you think. So they have been seeing the signs as well, really feeling into this, sensing the energetic bond between the two of you. This person may be aware of ideas about twin flames or soulmates, and they're starting to really resonate with that. They've been doing their research. This can also be somebody who maybe has gotten tarot readings about you in the connection, is, watching pick-a-card readings, perhaps the same readers that you are watching. Somebody who is starting to really explore and has come upon some deep knowledge. They're furthering their knowledge about spirituality, spiritual concepts, the nature of past lives soulmates, all of the same things that kind of are resonating with you. This person is seeing a lot of these clues and is really looking into these things very quietly, but at the same time expanding their knowledge base. They also say, I've been having dreams of you. So astral travel, astral projection might be a heavy theme at this point in time. You're popping up in their dreams, the two of you meeting in that liminal space to exchange healing energy. Those dreams can also really be sort of an extension of a lot of this thought energy, this mental energy that is going into, researching this connection, researching these feelings, why they still feel so connected to you and drawn to you, maybe after a period of time and separation, or if this is even just sort of a recent separation or kind of distance, awkwardness between the two of you. This has really gifted this person the ability to sit and decipher and to discern what they are sensing, what they are feeling, how this is very different from what they've experienced with anyone up to this point in time, romantically speaking. This is causing them to almost dream of a new future together, a new way of conceptualizing this connection, what you mean, what has taken place in the past, where the two of you are right now, and what is potentially possible between you in the future. And we also have, I miss your playful sense of humor. So they're thinking back on the good times between the two of you, again, really sitting in this very peaceful vibration at this point in time, wishing they could almost go back and, kind of make things easier, make different choices in this situation, missing before things became so complicated, stress or pressure occurred, kind of missing your words of wisdom and the friendship that the two of you have shared. They also say, I'm sorry I didn't have the courage to face you. So this person may have run or ghosted, left you with a lot of questions, few answers or explanations, and this really ties into the idea of being deeply triggered by the intensity of the connection between the two of you. There may have been kind of a window of opportunity that they had missed. Maybe some of you were hoping to hear from this person recently during some kind of a milestone event, maybe the holidays, for example, and it feels that this person was thinking about reaching out. They were thinking about expressing something to you, expressing more, delivering some kind of an apology, or kind of breaking the ice between the two of you, but their courage failed them at the last minute, and so kind of in this energy of calm is this idea of kind of strategizing what to do next, how to move forward from this point in time. They may have really been struggling with, kind of these self-deprecating thoughts as well, for not having the courage to pick up the phone, to make that communication, to open those lines of communication to you sooner, or again, it's sort of a recent kind of milestone event, or over this most recent holiday season, although this is a timeless reading, so just take these messages as they resonate whenever you are watching this particular reading. But it feels that just recently this person has really been thinking about, they had made a plan, they all the signs were pointing toward making some kind of contact, making the situation right, and they failed to act upon that, which may have been a struggle to kind of forgive themselves for. They're needing to really kind of go back to the drawing board, think again, plan again, maybe expand their research a little bit more, expand their kind of plan. They can also be really watching you from afar on social media. This can also tie into somebody who was thinking about reaching out, but then something that they saw gave them reason to pause, reason to question, maybe if you were still interested, if you were still available, something that intimidated them or confused them, or that they had kind of misconstrued and almost getting caught in this element of overthinking and not acting at the time that they had wanted to. But again, they're mostly sitting, it feels like, in this vibration of kind of dreaminess, thinking very positively about you, thinking about fond memories the two of you have shared, sort of an alleviation of a lot of energetic pressure as well, where they may have been focusing on kind of the negative things, the shadowy aspects of the connection, what has been kind of torn asunder, or mistakes that they have made in the past, and they are instead trying to focus on sort of what remains, what's salvageable, the potential, and more optimism as far as the connection's concerned. They also say, I miss your touch. So they're missing that closeness. They're missing that friendship, that connection between the two of you. The time and distance has not lessened their feelings for you, but it feels that this love is only intensified. They're yearning for you. They're missing your companionship on many different levels at this point in time. And they also say, you made my life a waking dream. So more of that reference to dreams right there. So that could be coming in very, very heavily. The two of you really connecting in that space, words, or even just vibrations that are exchanged that they are unable to kind of bring forth in the material world at this point in time. This can also really tie into that idea of sort of thinking back on the better times that you shared. They're starting to really value you, to appreciate you, to recognize what they have lost now that it's gone. They also say your light is so bright. So they may be a bit intimidated by you, very inspired by the changes that they are recognizing you have made in your life, in some way that they had failed to kind of see and appreciate your value before. That value has taken on new meaning for them. It's a point that they are striving towards within themselves, it feels like. And that might have also been sort of why they hesitated in making contact sooner, if they had been thinking about this or planning it, kind of at the last minute, getting cold feet, looking at a photo of yours, or just kind of some fear or worst case scenario really creeping up from the depths that caused them to sort of pull back and to hold back, putting you a bit too much on a pedestal, and a little bit of this kind of lack mentality that's sort of creeping into them, that is causing them to feel the need to sort of hold back, to hesitate, to need to reformulate a plan, re-strategize, try again, build up that confidence a little bit more in order to be able to bring something to you that is a match and that is adequate for the vibration that they see you in and that you are holding and emanating at this time. And they also say, I can't find the words for my feelings. So again, this idea of some kind of plan that they had kind of created as far as what they were going to say, how they were going to break this silence, break out of the kind of the monotony or any sort of stuck energy, come out from hiding. And at the last minute, kind of these, the words failed them. They couldn't speak when they had the opportunity. They're still trying to really kind of decipher the truth and discern the truth of, how they feel about you fully, what their intentions are for this connection. The idea of I know more than you think, but that they're also kind of at a loss for words at this point in time, speaks to somebody who's still expanding that spiritual knowledge, that research, being pulled maybe in many different directions between fears and kind of the intuitive knowing, the higher self knowing. And so kind of just sitting in this dreamy energy feels the safest to them at this point in time, but the connection is weighing heavily on their mind. They are thinking back on the good times that the two of you shared and wishing that they could go back in time, and also kind of in this, it's this energy of almost scanning the horizon for a way forward, what to say, how to kind of get that wheel turning in the direction of change and moving toward better times together. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got Q, D, H, F, P, Y, O, T, and B. So those are your messages, Group 1. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I've also launched a second channel here on YouTube. It's called Lady of the Dawn Tarot, and there's a link for that in the description box of the video as well as in the channel section of my page. The format there is a little different from here. I do pick a cards as well as general energy check-ins, but the subject matters that I cover are related to spirituality, wellness, ascension, and self-love. So if any of that sounds interesting, I invite you to check that channel out, and I thank you for your support over there as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the blue Kyanite. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks, and let's see, what does your person want you to know right now from their higher self? Okay, and they say, I want commitment with you, just not yet. So they are thinking about the future of the connection, but it still feels like trapped in a bit of indecision, fears, maybe hesitations as far as how to sort of course correct in this situation. A lot of shadow work that they're needing to do, inner child wounds that are still kind of standing in the way of forward progress. And they also say, no one can change my love for you. So time and distance has not diminished the feelings that they have for you. And with the idea of no one can change those feelings, there may have been third-party interference in this situation in the past, people kind of giving their opinions, their disapproval on the situation. And this person, it feels like, is starting to really separate themselves from that, any kind of codependency, tendencies toward people-pleasing as well. They also say, I do think about the future, and when I do, I think about you in it. So again, kind of dreaming about what might potentially transpire in this connection in the future, but understanding that there still is a journey within themselves that needs to take place in order to move beyond some certain tendencies within themselves, maybe close out some sort of toxic cycles or release patterns or relationships that interfere with that forward progress. They also say, I'm trusting the universe. Please be patient with me. So this idea of no immediate change, but something that is kind of taking its time to percolate or simmer within this person, as far as finding a way out of some entanglements in their life by way of ideas, relationships, kind of karmic ties or patterns. They also say, I see signs leading me back to you. So this is tying in with that idea of that they are trusting in the universe. They may be getting a lot of synchronicities, angel numbers at this point in time, these confirmations that are really encouraging them as they are contemplating or even starting to take some steps to really extract themselves from toxic and one-sided energies and tendencies. It's almost like they're getting the thumbs up from the universe to keep going. These things are not kind of going unnoticed by this person. They may be seeing your name a lot, things that are reminding them of you. Songs may be coming through very significantly with kind of, messages in the lyrics basically that are bringing them to that kind of truth, that core reality of the sort of vibration of what they've experienced with you as a contrast to what else they might be sort of participating in. Again, these encouragements in an etheric sense to keep doing that work, pushing past their own limitations and boundaries. They also say the grass was never greener. So confirmation again, if there was a third party interference, this person had made you feel like an option or had even just chosen to move in the direction of fear and their own kind of core wounds and patterning as that third party energy. And this awareness that they have right now, this clarity that this was not the best decision. This was not the decision that it was most in alignment with their highest good, with the truth of their heart, and kind of looking around at as far as how to untangle themselves from this knot, how to move back in your direction, how to course correct at this point in time. It feels like more than just a simple I'm sorry is owed in this case. And this is someone who's kind of strategizing, trying to figure out how to undo this, what needs to kind of be moved beyond within themselves or within their own life in order to bring forth some kind of measurable change to you and open the possibility of repair or reconciliation. They also say, I will wait in the name of love. So again, this idea of the feelings that they have for you have persisted over time, that you have been a companion energetically to them through this process of maybe a lot of things kind of crumbling down in their life, a lot of things that they are becoming aware of that they need to shift and change. This person may be in a period of kind of disconnecting from third-party energies. Maybe they are single, maybe they are celibate at this point in time, really starting to do that work to survey the landscape within themselves as far as what they need to shift and evolve beyond in order to create that state of preparedness within themselves and within their life for a new chance in this connection to happen, and for love in a more healthy and productive sense to blossom. They also say, in you, I see the depth of my life's true meaning. So in some way you represent true north for this person in terms of the vibration that you hold, what you represent energetically, the feelings that they have had when they are with you compared to kind of what was experienced in other circumstances they had moved toward. Even if this wasn't directly, another person, that third party energy could have again just been the path of fear and limitation, choosing not to invest in this connection, focusing on work, focusing on status, focusing on the opinions of other people. Even what would people think? What would they say about the connection? Maybe there are things about your circumstances that were a little bit taboo, or there's something that on the outside is kind of a mismatch between the two of you. that in the past they had really prioritized that, had judged the situation based on appearances, but they are starting to really crack beneath that veneer to see into the true kind of nature of their heart's longing, which is compelling them back in your direction. A lot of signs pointing towards you as well. And they also say, I long for the time when your lips would kiss mine. So reconciliation, making things right, making amends is definitely heavily on their mind at this point in time, but it feels to be kind of coupled with that is a bit of an energy of overwhelm, not really sure what to do, how to make things right, how to course correct from this point in time. There's a longing, and yet at the same time, they don't feel ready to take action necessarily towards you. There's a lot that needs to be kind of tied up and closed up as far as some loose ends, things within themselves that they're needing to kind of move away from in order to step back towards you with an openness and with a readiness to reinitiate contact, to re-spark and explore the potential of what might develop between the two of you or be resurrected in the future. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got K, O, V, Q, P, X, N, and H. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I've also launched a second channel here on YouTube. It's called Lady of the Dawn Tarot, and there's a link in the description box of the video as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format there is a little different from here. I do pick-a-cards as well as general energy check-ins, but the topics that I cover are about spirituality, ascension, wellness, and self-love. So if any of that sounds interesting, I invite you to check that channel out, and I thank you for your support over there on my new channel, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the Fluorite. So I'm going to be getting 3 cards from 3 different decks, and let's see, what does your person want you to know right now from their higher self? Okay, and they say, I do think about the future, and when I do, I think about you in it. So this card came up in group 2, so if you felt inclined to watch that group, you might want to do so. There could be additional messages for you there, but this feels like somebody who in a no contact or separation period is planning a move towards you. It feels like this energy of getting ready to make some kind of action, make some kind of communication towards you, something they may have been thinking about for quite some time. It's the idea of the stars aligning, the time is now. They're getting ready to at least make that effort to shoot their shot, to see if there's still a chance, still a spark, still some hope of what can grow and develop between the two of you. And they also say, give me a chance. So they might be fighting a lot of fears of rejection, fears that you've moved on, that you don't feel the same way. It almost feels like a reversal of roles, that if there'd been a period of time where you would really question the connection, is this all in your head? Do they feel the same way? Are they aware of the intensity and the energetic bond? And you may have kind of come to a place of peace with that, or moved on with that, or found answers, or just been comfortable in the unknowing. They are now operating in that space of really not being sure how you feel. If all of this kind of draw towards you, the magnetism towards you, is this something that's just wishful thinking? Is this something that, kind of a new start, a fresh start, working to build something better, if that is even possible in this situation? Or if they have just kind of built this all up into kind of an idealized fantasy that in reality will prove to be a very stark contrast to what they are feeling inside. They also say, I've been having dreams of you. So this card came up in group 1. So if you felt inclined to watch that group as well, you may want to do so. So there could be messages for you in all 3, either of those, or maybe just here. But dreams definitely factoring in the idea of thinking about the future, dreaming about the future, wanting to reach out, planning their move, feeling the time is now, not wanting to have any more time kind of go by in this energy of not knowing. It feels like one way or another, they have to get some kind of confirmation. They have to find out if there's still something here, if there's still something viable. If you're, feeling this as well, if you're dreaming about a future, if the two of you can meet in the middle somewhere and compromise and work to really rebuild or salvage the connection. And they also say, I'm finding the courage to reach out. Please respond when I do. So that's a direct confirmation right there of somebody who's on the brink of action, on the brink of making communication. And it's bringing forth this kind of image of somebody standing on one end of a phone, and they've dialed a number, and they're saying, please be home, please be home, please pick up. It's that kind of it's an anticipation that there's a lot of kind of excitement and nervousness and tension that is being directed at this situation, but it feels like this person can't remain silent for very much longer. They have to know, they have to act, they have to find out one way or another if it's too late, or if there's still a possibility to kind of save this situation, rebuild or resurrect the situation. They also say, I expected you to chase me. Instead, you respected me, and that confused me. So if you have honored this person's boundaries, maybe this was a circumstance of a runner-chaser dynamic and you have given up the chase, that runner definitely felt that. It's bringing to mind the idea of almost a rubber band springing back into place. They felt that snap. They felt that kind of detachment when you actively chose to focus your intentions and attentions elsewhere, when you have kind of honored and allowed this person to go through their own journey. It has been very effective in the sense that the time and the space, whatever sort of actions or methods you have employed to do this, this has been what has been necessary. It's been that secret component. It's been that missing ingredient that has really allowed this person to come to their own conclusions about how they feel, what they want going forward, and to come to some deeper truths about what the two of you share without almost this energetic pressure of pursuit. Again, the idea of the roles now being reversed. The runner is now becoming the chaser. They are stepping into that role. And they also say, I'm trusting the universe. Please be patient with me. So another card that also came up in group 2. And this idea of, with patience, that they've been thinking about this for quite some time. It feels that the stars are aligning. They're waiting for that kind of final confirmation, that final sign. It feels almost like any day now kind of energy, that they're right on the brink of action, saying something, making some kind of effort. It may be something small just to kind of test the waters, but it feels that they can't remain silent. They can't stay in this liminal space of not knowing for very much longer. They have to find out one way or another, if it is still possible to have something with you, to develop something out of this connection, or if you have let them go for good. And they also say, somewhere in time, I will find you and love you again. So more of that idea of wanting to return to your life, wanting to start over, wanting to start fresh, learn from the mistakes of the past, build in a better direction. They may be aware as well of kind of the timelessness of this dynamic, a lot that might be coming through in the dream space as far as other lifetimes the two of you have shared with one another, an element of familiarity about you energetically that could have been very overwhelming to them, the nature and intensity of a lot of deja vu, a lot of synchronicities, all these signs that they are now starting to lean into and trust, initially might have been very kind of spooky to this person. It could have really, caused a lot of confusion in them, where they, instead of kind of expressing this, just chose to kind of push you away or run from the connection in the situation. But since you have allowed them time to really decipher these things, to really sit with all of this, and in their own kind of time and manner come to these conclusions, they have really reached this this truth within themselves that they need to explore in a more outward way, kind of the potential and the possibility, more of the depths of what is possible between the two of you, as well as the nature of the connection. A lot that it feels they want to talk to you about and share with you, to discuss with you. The idea of almost comparing notes about your sensations regarding the connection, your experiences while you've been apart as well. And they also say, I just want to call you, but I won't. So more of that energy of wanting to reach out. And again, somebody picking up the phone and saying, please be home, please answer, please pick up. This could have been somebody with a couple different false starts where they were on the brink of action and kind of turned back at the last minute. And it feels that each time they've done this, they move closer and closer to that jumping off point. Almost the idea of kind of sending a text or an email very impulsively, and before they have a chance to kind of second guess themselves, they're reaching that brink, that kind of brink of action, that brink of communication. A lot that they want to say, a lot that they want to discuss, wanting to come out of just an energetic bond between the two of you, and to really interface with you directly in a 3D sense once again. They also say our paths and lives are aligned. So this brings to mind again that idea of this past life connection, this very deep energetic bond that the two of you share. Two people who have been walking parallel paths, kind of coming to the same truth or understanding or ideas about the nature of this connection, what has been sparked and awakened within each of you, kind of a larger purpose for why you have crossed paths in this life. And it's this idea as well of kind of as your roads have diverged, there's an arc, there's a change that has happened here, where this person is making their way back towards you, not just being pulled in by signs or curiosity, but this is active energy right here of very deliberately and consciously wanting to reach out, wanting to bridge that gap between the two of you, wanting to kind of test these waters and to see, is it possible for the two of you to meet in the middle somewhere, to rebuild, to build on a better foundation, a firmer foundation, armed with the wisdom and experience of what has kind of happened in the past and what you have both learned while you were apart. A need to know if the seeds of love, although dormant, are they still viable? Is this something that you would still want? Is it still possible for the two of you to kind of rewrite the story, or to create the next chapter together in what feels to be a very timeless bond between the two of you? So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. We've got N, T, K, B, P, R, Y, M, and J. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of that out as well. I've also launched a second channel here on YouTube. It's called Lady of the Dawn Tarot, and there's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format over there is a little different from here. I do pick-a-card readings as well as general energy check-ins, and the subject matters that I cover are related to spirituality, wellness, self-love, and ascension. So if any of that sounds interesting, I invite you to check that channel out, and I thank you for your support over there as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.